darling.
Nice
Such
to
a
meet you.
pleasure. Same
Thank
to
you
you, my
so
dear.
much, and good luck.
Thank you.
It was a treat. You're doing good work.
I appreciate you.
It's just amazing what you're doing.
Thank
And I love
you.
the hotel. I love
Oh,
it.
thank you. We'll make it come back in a few different ways.
Absolutely.
All right, ladies.
Carry on, and I hope you have good luck with the next people that you
Thank you.
All right, take care, Binion.
Cheers, ladies.
Bye.
Bye. That was really sweet. Oh, my hand was getting so tired because there's quite a weight to the cameras and the microphones on here, but it's quite delightful. Let's see if there are others who would be willing to participate in what we're doing here as well. Hello. I got a question for you both. Please feel free to say no if you don't feel comfortable. You're playing a game, I see. I'm doing 5-minute epic conversations on the theme of integrity for my podcast. Would you guys like to be a part? No? I appreciate you considering. Thank you. What's the game called, by the way? What's the game called? What's it called? I've never heard of it. Okay. It almost looks like a version of Scrabble. Kind of, but nonetheless. Well, thank you for considering. Have a great afternoon. Cheers. Part of, like I say, why I do what I do is to initiate some epic moments. But as I do so, I also want to be aware that consent is a huge part of me accomplishing the aims that I'm trying to accomplish. And so along those lines, that's why I also want to make sure that they are a hell yes. They're very happy to be a part of it, because if they're not, then I want to honor that as well too. When I look for those who I want to interview, I'm very specific in where I go looking. For example, I wouldn't want to be interviewing or asking people who are on their way to work or on their way to an appointment. And so that's why I like coming to parks, because usually at parks there is an element where folks are at their leisure and they're having a good time, and along those lines I can sort of take my time with them and enjoy the time if they so desire to share. But not everyone is, and so that's why I have to be really aware of and respectful of their choices that way. Excuse me, how are you both?
Good, how are you?
I'm featuring some epic conversations, 5-minute conversations for my podcast. Would you guys like to be a part?
Sure. What's it about?
It's about integrity.
Integrity?
Integrity. Are you guys open to that?
English isn't her first language.
That's okay. Are you okay being a part though? I'm happy if you want to participate, join. I'm more than happy. May I put you on my camera as well too?
Sure.
Okay. So may I first of all learn both of your names?
My name is Alex.
Alex. And you are?
Subin.
Subin. Nice to meet you both. I'll just make sure I can see you both on my camera as well. Let's see if I can put myself kind of like.
Here, I'll try to put myself.
Okay, there we go. How's that? We're all in. Alex and Subin.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you.
So I've got a list of questions in my hand here. 5-minute conversations on the theme of integrity. Choose a number between 1 and 15. Subin.
I'll go with 10.
10, okay. So question number 10. Can integrity be compromised for the greater good? Can integrity be compromised for the greater good?
Integrity가 무슨 뜻인지 알아? She doesn't know what
That's
integrity
okay.
means.
Now, that's a great one to define first.
Right.
How would you define integrity, Alex?
Just being honest with your character
I like that. Yes.
and upholding your values in life without compromising for a shortcut or to better appear yourself for other people.
I like that. I couldn't define that better. That was well done.
Thank you.
Did you understand what he was defining?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
모습을 보여줘.
Yeah.
Good. So the question again is, can integrity be compromised or given up for the greater good? So can you get rid of integrity for a better goal?
Oh,
Yeah, that's a tough one.
더
더 큰 것을 위해서 너의 인테그리티를 버릴 수 있냐?
버릴 수 있는. I think no.
No.
Yeah,
And why do you think no, Subin?
because people can like hide their integrity. Yeah, in like when you look more further, there's
Yes.
gonna be lots of situations that happen.
Yes.
So I think they might they try to hide, but at the last they have to show themselves.
Ah, I see, I see. So it's much better for them to be honest
Yeah,
in the very
right.
first place.
Yeah.
Is there, and I'll get your thoughts as well too, Alex. Subin, do you think there would be any situation in which case there is a better outcome if someone were to hide themselves, though?
어, 더 나은 걸 보여줄 수 있으시냐고.
This gets
Like when you go to the job,
yes,
new job,
Yeah.
getting a new job,
Yeah.
job interview, they like me too. I've like experienced like pretend to be a more nicer people to like the interviewees,
Yes.
but like you know, it's not true me.
I understand.
Yeah, I try to like show them like how I was good at my school,
Yes.
how was I good at my previous work,
Yeah.
and like those kind of things.
Try to look good.
Yeah, try to look good, but like it's quite like part of me, but like it's not truly that part of me, like deeper.
I see. So
Yeah.
you might be an introvert, but you try to look like an extrovert.
Yeah,
so you can,
right. Like
something
that
like
one, yeah. Or try to smile and or try to be really like high people to
Right.
like I can like show them like I can join to your team well like
Right. Yeah, yeah, I see that. I see that.
that.
Good explanation. I like
Thank
that. What do you think, Alex?
I believe yes, and I
Yes.
think everybody hides somewhat of their integrity, especially in a multicultural country like Canada. Like before, when I first came here, you would have like these preconceptions of what you think of certain ethnicities
Sure.
or race or whatever.
Yeah.
But but even though you think like that, you put on a face because everybody wants to be loved, right? And because you understand that, you gotta show love in the first sight, because there's no reason to hate people in the first view, right?
Sure.
But as you get to know, of course, that's how you first hide your integrity for greater good. But I mean, obviously, when you get to know people, when you live in a country like this for so long, you understand that these preconception isn't everything.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
for just, I feel like people just always hide their integrity. Everybody has good side and everybody has bad characteristics, but people tend to hide their bad characteristics in order to just appear good, and that's what keeps the society running, really. Because a lot of people have really like mean thoughts, but that's not really like something you should tell other people, because why would you want to make other people feel bad, right?
Yeah, you make a really interesting point, Alex, because I was thinking about how sometimes people may not feel safe
Right.
to actually tell who they really are. And part of integrity, like you were saying, is being true to your values and so on. But sometimes, actually a lot of times, I would say a lot of people feel scared about how they're going to be received.
Right.
If they're actually to tell what they really believe or feel, especially if it doesn't match the culture that they're in.
Right.
And that gets more intense in a multicultural setting,
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a really interesting perspective. Okay, the podcast that I do is specifically geared for inspiring integrity for young men, specifically. What are some things that you guys would suggest for young men with relation to integrity? Do you think they're doing amazing collectively, or do you think they're struggling? And if they're struggling, what do you think would go better for them to consider? If they're doing amazing, well, what are they doing well on?
I would personally say integrity is something that you tend to build up with age as you gain more experience and as you accomplish things. That's where you gain confidence, and confidence tends to lead to better integrities
Sure.
on the long run.
Yeah.
So I would recommend young people. I'm a young guy myself. so
How old are you, if I may?
23.
Oh my goodness, you're so young.
I would recommend young people to accomplish things so they
Yes.
can feel what it is to have integrity. Because a lot of young men, I feel like these days, don't even know that. So accomplish things, gain some experience in life, gaining confidence in yourself through your accomplishment. Because a lot of people these days tend to put up a face on confidence as well, but I feel like confidence is only built up on what you accomplish in life. So go out there and don't be too scared. I mean, even if I preach that, I'm not really the best person to preach this message, but I'm trying, and I hope every young man out there are trying as well, because just doing nothing and being stuck in your own head doesn't really lead you anywhere. Because I'm sure every young man these days experience that. So try stuff.
I like
Try
that.
stuff, yeah.
I like that. Alex.
Like even going on a picnic like this.
This is amazing. I think this is just the coolest thing ever. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
This is-
look at what we're
This
eating.
is-
We're like we have tikka masala, we have naan, we have kimchi and
Kimchi
some
and
this
pork.
is like a
Yeah,
multicultural.
that's like
Korean
Canadian,
style.
That's as Canadian as it gets.
That's amazing. What are your thoughts, dear?
Oh yeah. Also, I'm not that much old. I'm just 23, and I
Yes.
just came to Canada like last year. Yeah, and I just came here like right after I graduated my uni. So like me too. I'm just finding myself here.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, and like it's better to struggle because when you struggle and when you have some like some problem and then solved it, I can grow up more and I can learn more many things. So I think like as same as him, we don't have to be scared of like doing something new or like we have to like break a wall.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
One thing I also want to add is like, when you don't accomplish things, you tend to think that people will receive you negatively. But I feel like, in my experience, a lot of people actually are supportive of you coming out of your shell because, a lot of people were young men themselves that experience that, hesitance of going out and, showing the world what you have. So a lot of the older generation are actually not that negative, doesn't really have that negative view towards you because they understand where you're coming from. But it's just young men themselves sometimes, from wherever they heard, like from bad media or negative media, always like viewing them negatively or whatever.
Sure.
They tend to like confine themselves because of these negative voices becoming their own. But these media voices aren't real world. A lot of people in the real world will be much more receptive
I think
of
you're
you
right.
than you would imagine.
The perception is so cruel, but
Right.
reality is a lot more friendly, is what you're
Right,
saying. I
yes.
like that. That's really good. I love you guys' insights. So good. 23 years old, eh?
Yeah.
Man, I wish I was there when I was 23 years old. May I throw a couple of things in for consideration as well? I'm about a couple of decades ahead of you guys. Just a couple. Just a couple. 20.
You look so young though.
I've heard as much. From my experience, I would say if I could speak to my 23-year-old self, one of the things as a young man then, I felt I had no confidence because I didn't feel like I was living with integrity. And so that the lack of confidence made me afraid to be who I truly was. I was afraid of the perception that others would have. I was afraid of rejection and so on like that. So my encouragement to me then would be, how can I get to know me in a way where being true to me is the most important thing before I'm aware of what other people's thoughts about me are. Because if I can express myself truthfully to those around me, the biggest mistake I think I made for many years, like a good couple of decades, was that lack of courage led to dishonesty, which hurt a lot of people. I think that's a big deal for me now because I don't want to make that mistake again, But just that commitment to living and walking in integrity helps a person find their confidence, helps them to know who they are, what they stand for, why they stand for it, and to be honest with those around them as well too. So, yeah, that's what I'll throw in there as well too.
Sure.
Alex, Subin,
Yeah, right.
such a pleasure.
Thank
Thank you so much, you
Thank very much.
guys.
This is a great talk.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
right,
If you want to take my info to
Yeah,
follow
I
up
want
on
to
here,
because like I was
Absolutely.
like feeling like just like
Oh,
because,
amazing.
like I'm
Yeah.
doing like small tiny YouTube.
oh, amazing, amazing.
Yeah.
So my name is BINYAM ASRESS. Binyam Asterisk is my name, but if you put it together, you'll find my YouTube channel,
Oh, cool.
and that's where I post a lot of these conversations
Sure.
and
Check it
my
out.
thought. Absolutely, I love that. Drop me a comment in there, and I'll be like, I remember you guys. Thank you again for
you.
being a part.
Yeah.
I appreciate you
Very
guys.
much.
I hope I see you guys again.
Yeah, you too.
All right, enjoy your picnic too.
Thank
That
you.
is so amazing. All right,
Bye-bye.
have
Have a good day.
have a good evening.
Oh, Oh, do you think we'll be on the video?
Absolutely.
Oh, really?
Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, that's why I wanted to make sure. Consent is a huge thing for me. Not everyone wants to be on the internet, and I want to honor that as well too. And so that's why I make sure I ask. If you're not comfortable, I'm happy to honor that too. Beautiful. Yeah, I'll definitely feature you. I think maybe this coming week I'll just do some editing and so on like that and share that. But yeah,
very much.
my pleasure.
Have a good day.
Bye. That was so sweet. Oh, they were such a lovely young couple. Oh my goodness, they were so young. So young indeed.